month of January being. So, hey guys, welcome on and YouTube to live a phenomenal live show with me. So, this is season 5, episode 17, and it's so awesome to be here on the last day of the month of January. So, today's topic is going to be a fascinating. You guys can see what the topic is on the screen to be scrolling across so that way you guys get to know what it is at any time you join. So for those of you that this is your first time, welcome. It is amazing to have you guys here. Thank you, Dr. Ndavi, for your compliment. Thank you, sister. And yes, I'm looking forward to our awesome branding conference that is going to be starting in February. I can't remember the date, but it's going to be amazing. We're going to have Cheryl Pullings from Florida, USA, as well as Dr. Ndabi Ramil from South Africa. But today is all about the power of self-expression, and it's going to be a fascinating show. I can guarantee you guys that. So as you're logging in, say hello to me, and also let me know what is your one word for the week. Okay, that is our usual practice on the show. We always have one word that we focus on to ensure that we stay on point, we stay focused, we stay determined to be able to ensure that nothing stops us from achieving our goals. So I would love to know what your one word for the week is, and then we can get started with the rest of the show. If you're new to this show, let me know so that I can give you a special shout out. Once again, my name is Madame Merola. I am known as the banger creator that ignites the beautiful and bold. No excuses, God's masterpiece in you. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. We're always live on Live a Phenomenal Life Show with Madame Merola every Monday for 50 weeks in a year, unless it happens. Like, for instance, next week, I'm not going to be here because I'm going to go celebrate my mom's birthday in another state, and I'll be flying back to my own home base. So I will not be streaming live next week, Monday, but I'm going to see what I can do to ensure that I don't miss out with you guys. So thank you guys. Wow. And Dabi, I love your one word for the week. Brilliance. That is such an awesome word. Thank you so much for that. So I've got people saying hi to me on Facebook. So let me acknowledge them as well so that we can get started. Hi, Michael Sewell. Good morning, Madame Merola. Looking forward to a phenomenal show as always. Thank you so much for your kind words and also your encouragement and dedication to showing up live every single time. So in Tabi on Instagram has shared her word for the week, which is brilliance. Somebody else can also share what the one word is before I share mine. But I just want you to understand that in life, nothing is going to happen unless you think it, you work it as well. So think it, write it down, and work it. So as you say it, you also empower yourself to be active about doing it. So I've got more people showing up on Facebook and YouTube. Hello, guys. Welcome. Thank you for me. It's great to have you here. So my one word for this week is creativity. Right? I always love to put a spin on the things I do. I always love to do things in a way that also challenges me. So creativity for me allows me to keep on bringing innovation, bringing in new spices into the things I do. I get bored easily as a person. So I can imagine for other people that probably be watching the show and doing things in life or absorbing or using the things I create, they might also get tired of the same things that is, becoming mundane. So I am looking forward to being more creative this week and looking for how I can just add that extra spice, that little bit of difference into the things I do just to be able to switch it up a little bit. So that is my one word for the week, creativity. Thank you for those of you that have shared your one word with me. And I look forward to helping you guys also stay focused on learning how to self-express as we go through the rest of this show. So before we do that, I've got the box out for affirmations. You know that that's our drill. We always share affirmations. Normally, if I have a guest, I would always say that yes, you can I will share 5, but because I don't have a guest, I'm only going to share few, like 3, and then we're going to get on to the topic of the day because I have a lot to say, and I also don't want to keep you guys on the screen for too long. So I am getting out all the cards. I'm going to shake it up, pick out the best ones, and then we're good to go. So hi, Shuba BS on Instagram. Thank you for joining. So quick shuffling, and then randomly selecting any three, and then we can get started with the topic of today. You can share this video with others as you are here waiting for us to get started on the topic of today, the power of self-expression. Don't be stingy. You can click the like buttons. You can send me hearts on Instagram. You can also share with other people. Let them know, hey, Madame Merola is live. You need to hear this fabulous woman speak and also bring life into you. So I am looking forward to having you guys share this video with others and also comment. Please use that space on your screen to share and also comment and just interact with me. I love when you guys interact with me. I love when you give me your feedback. I love when you share your comments, your own insights on the topic. It is just the best thing. So I'm not here to do all the talking. I'm also going to give power to your own voices through the words you type on the screen. So if you type it, I guarantee you and I promise you, I will read it out for everybody else to hear, just like as if you were in the studio with me. All right. So what are the cards that we've got for today? The first one says, I am guided, protected, and provided for by God. Everything is all right in my world because I am covered under the shadow of the Almighty. Woohoo! Amen to that. The second card says, my soul is healthy, my mind is healthy, my heart is healthy, my body is healthy, my spirit is alive. Every day I wake up excited about my life. Woohoo! And then the final one says, I take risks with ease. I go beyond my comfort zone and stretch towards the higher and better version of myself. I am bodacious. Yes, in Tabella Ramile, Dr. Ndavi says, I am indeed covered. That is so true. We are covered by the blood of Jesus and according to whatever we believe. So, whatever you believe is what's going to work for you. I believe in the power of Jesus Christ, and it's been working for me. So, with the affirmations done now, it is time for us to talk about the power of self expression. Woohoo! So, what is self expression? We all hear these words. We talk about the fact that all of us want to be able to speak our truth. We want to be able to articulate how we feel, what we're thinking, and the way we articulate it, and also the way we give life to our thoughts, to our visions, to our dreams differs from person to person. Okay, so Intervella on Instagram says going beyond my comfort zone. Absolutely. We all have to do that. So, what exactly self-expression? And how can we start to utilize this in such a way that we start to give ourselves that needed power to be able to do the things that are necessary? Okay, so I have a definition here that I want to share with you guys. And it simply says that self expression is the free expression of one's feelings, thoughts, beliefs, talents, attitudes, or impulses through the things we think, say, and do. Self expression is the free expression of one's feelings, beliefs, talents, attitudes, or impulses through the things we think, say, and do. Okay. So when you look at that definition that I've given you, you start to ask yourself that, okay, are you giving expression to the key things that you're thinking about, to the key things that you're doing, to the key things that you are actually feeling within you? Or how exactly are you portraying these things to others in such a way that they have the right perception about you, that they're able to clearly hear you, they're able to freely feel you, and then understand you? Okay, self expression is so important and it goes beyond the words we speak. As I said, in that definition, you can see that it's about our thoughts, it's about our feelings, it's about our attitude. So many times people say, oh, I self express by the things I say. And I would like to tell you that it's not just about the things you say, it's way much more than that. It's also about the things that you're thinking. It's about the things you're creating. It's about your body language. It's about your physiology. It's about all your visual ways of communicating with others. So even the things you're not saying, but it's clearly showing on your face or through your body language, they're all part of self expression. The things you write are also part of your self expression. The way you move your body is part of self expression. The music that comes out of you, or even how you act or how you associate yourself with certain music, is a form of self-expression. And guess what? The clothes you wear, the colors that people can actually associate with you, are also part of your self-expression. So self-expression is so important, and it's something that we're all doing consciously or unconsciously. The only problem is that many of us are not owning the power of our self-expression. Many of us are afraid to be able to speak our truth or to be able to share our emotions. So there are needed things that ought to be said, and there's some things that ought not to be said. So there are guidelines that will help you to freely self-express. Because sometimes, right, when you say too much, it can be a problem. When you say it the wrong way, it can be a problem. And when you say nothing at all, it can also be a problem. So learning the fine art of balancing self-expression in a way that is meaningful, that is also impactful, without making other people feel less of who they are consciously, is what we're going to be learning today. Okay. There is nothing more valuable than expressing who we are, how we feel, our goals, and also the things we want to be able to do in life. Okay. Expressing our dissatisfaction is also important. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Many times, some of us are so bottled up with our feelings, with the things that we know we need to give voice to or express, but we don't say it. And that's why I said we need to learn the fine balance, because I'm going to give you 3 questions that you ask yourself every single time you want to self-express. You ask yourself, what exactly do I want to say? Because sometimes the key problem might be that you're not even really certain what you want to say. Sometimes you're just kind of, all wrapped up in your emotions and in what's going on, and you've not really taken time to think about what you want to say. So the words come out wrong, or the way you say them come out wrong. So the first question you ask yourself is, what do I really want to say? Then the second question you ask yourself is, do I really need to say what I need to say right now? Because you need to ask yourself, by saying it, is it going to make any difference? There are some people that you know that you're just wasting your time and energy self-expressing. For instance, somebody cuts you off on the traffic lane while you're driving. Do you need to self-express at that point in time by telling the person, hey, what's wrong with you? Why did you cut me off? And all that kind of thing, and express your anger and disappointment and dissatisfaction with them? No. You can express it to yourself and say that, you know what? That person is probably just having a bad day and does not even know what the highway codes are, or doesn't know how to drive, but I'm not going to let it affect me. So you can self-express to yourself. You can think it. You can just let it roll over you without actually taking full residence within you. Because sometimes when we overthink about things, when we allow ourselves to absorb some certain things, it can affect us. And then when we self-express from that point of, and of anger or upset and stuff like that. So you need to be very careful. And then the third thing is, if I say what I'm going to say right now, can I say it in a respectful manner, in a way that is still showing respect, in showing love and kindness to the other person? So there are some things that you need to say, and it must be said at that point in time. But then you have to ask yourself that, are you fully capable at that point in time to say it in such a way that it is not going to be disrespectful or unkind to the other person? So those are the 3 criteria that I always want you to put at the back of your mind when you want to self-express. Is it going to hurt intentionally? Do I really need to say what I want to say? And what exactly do I want to say? Okay, so yes, Intervella, respect, love, and kindness all matter in expression. Absolutely right, my sister. Very true. So, authentic self expression is not about trying to impress other people or about trying to show that you are in the wrong, I am in the right. It's just about us being our fullest self. It's about us showing up and letting people say, this is me. This is what I feel. This is what I think, right? The other person does not necessarily need to agree with you, but you need to ensure that you're being true to yourself, that you're not divided essence of your being by not speaking up, by not letting the other person know this is what I stand for. This is what I believe about this particular issue. It's okay for you to think what you're thinking. I also get your point of view. It does not or it doesn't you. Yes, in the balance, it's not about impressing or proving a point. No, many times, many of us think self-expression is all about saying that, they need to hear me, they need to hear me, they need to hear me. Well, if they hear you, but they don't listen to you, then what's the point? Because people can hear what you're saying, but they're not listening, so they are not actually comprehending. They are not actually understanding, thinking in a way that they would respond back to you, that you would actually be able to see benefit in the conversation that you're having. So many times, a lot of us are just talking, trying to get ourselves heard, and saying that that is self-expression. That is not self-expression. That is just noise making. Okay, there's a huge difference noise making and self expression. Say that it's something that is consciously done from a heightened sense of state, whereby you know exactly what you are doing. You know exactly what you're saying, and you're saying it the way you want to say, in a manner that is respectful, that is kind, and also is coming from a loving place, because you're not doing it to hurt another person, but you're also not going to dumb down or not express or say what you need to say just for other people to be comfortable. It's so important. Yes, in the balance says it's okay to think about what I'm thinking, and nobody has to agree. Absolutely important. So let me get some of the comments that are coming in before I continue. All right. So, yes, we've got other people saying we shouldn't just talk. Noise and self-expression are two different things. That's so true, Isabella. And it's so important for us to know the difference. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on doing make the same mistakes over and over again, and believe that we're self-expressing, which is not true. Okay. So, what is the next thing that I would love to share with you on this point? Okay. So, before I start to tell you the benefits of self expression, I want to tell you what can hold you back from self expressing yourself in such a way that people can actually get to know the true you. It's kind of amazing to know that you can be in a relationship with someone. You can know people for a long period of time, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, and not really know them, and not really get to see the true person. Why? Because of the fact that they are hiding themselves. They are not really saying the things they want to say. They're not really doing the things they want to do. They're suppressing their true identity. Why? Because of the following reasons that I'm going to share with you. Okay. Because when you're not able to do the things you want to do, when you're not able to say the things you want to say, and when you're not able to think the way you want to think, trust me, you'll have what is called loss of self-expression. Okay. So I have here 6 reasons why many of us struggle with fully self-expressing. The first one is that you say, I am shy. Oh, I don't feel comfortable in the crowd. I don't know what to say. I'm not that good at interacting with other people, and therefore you keep quiet. You say, and you hide under the label, I am shy. Okay. When people say they are shy and they are happy to own that title, trust me, it's because they don't really express themselves. They're afraid of speaking up. They just have this fear of saying or doing things in front of other people, because it leads to some of these other things that I'm going to mention. The second one is fear of being judged. Because when you say you're shy, really and truly, what does being shy mean? And then why are you shy? Because are you afraid to live your full life? Are you afraid to show up as an authentic, fully bodied God's masterpiece that you are? Why are you shy? Look, there's a difference between being an extrovert and an introvert. You're shy. Introverts are not people. They're just people that are slow to speak. But that does not mean they're shy. And there are also extroverts that can be slow to speak. So I always say that shyness sometimes is a cover up for some deep seated, rooted fears that we have of being judged, of being rejected, of being made to look like a fool or not sounding wise in the company of others. So you need to self analyze yourself, to ask yourself, why are you so keen to own that title of saying that I'm a shy person? Because nothing good, nothing great in life comes out of being shy. Why? Because being shy means you're hiding yourself away. Being shy means that you keep holding yourself back. And for you to be able to live the biggest, boldest expression of your life, you cannot afford to be shy. So please stop owning up to that title of being shy. If you want to be somebody that is bodacious, if you want to be somebody that is living life in the fullness of God color, somebody that owns their own true identity, someone who takes pride in knowing that God took his time to create them and give them gifts and a voice to be able to amplify it and share the gift and talents and the message with the rest of the world and create things that would benefit the life of others. You cannot afford to be shy. The third thing is limiting beliefs and conditioning. Many of us have grown up in backgrounds and in homes where they tell you that don't speak unless someone asks you to speak. And then it conditions us from when we were younger to the point that we become adults. And then we've kind of gotten used to that attitude and lifestyle of not speaking up. So it's not because we don't want to speak. We've just been conditioned to the point whereby we need to uncondition ourselves. There are also some certain cultures that don't encourage people to self-express. Like we know the Oriental culture, like the Japanese culture and stuff, they see people being, especially women, being quiet or subdued or being reverenced and being quiet as a better way of being than actually stating or saying who you are or showing up fully. Things like that are frowned upon. So culture, religion, and those kind of things can condition us to actually have a loss of self expression, whereby we have become so used to not speaking up. We've become so used to not allowing ourselves to fully blossom and people experience us in our authentic state. So it becomes a lifestyle, but it's not the true you. The real you is begging, it's screaming for full expression, but you have learn to cage it because of the way you were brought up, the kind of lifestyle you've lived, the religion you are in, the family you grew up in, the environment has learned to silence your voice, silence your creativity, silence the essence of who you are. And it's not helping you to be able to fully self express. So, number four is fear of disapproval and rejection. Many of us really don't like to be rejected by other people. I don't know anybody that likes to be rejected. In fact, one of my biggest fears used to be fear of rejection, right? And also fear of failure, whereby I always feel like I have so much, I'm an overachiever, I have so many grand dreams. So my fear has always been that what if I never accomplish those things? And then I don't like getting into conflict with people. So sometimes I used to be in the past a people pleaser, whereby I hold back from saying some certain things that were key or important for me to say, but because I didn't want to upset the person or the fear of that person's reaction becoming aggressive or make me feel bad, I would hold my tongue and hold my emotions and hold what I want to say. But there were also consequences for me doing that, which I'm going to share. So, fear of disapproval, fear of rejection. You know how when we were kids, we want our parents to love us, we want our parents to be proud of us. So, we wouldn't want to do anything that would make us be in the bad books or make them feel or make them act in such a way that we feel like we're losing the love and also losing the support. So we tend to do that with other people as well, with friends, with our lovers, with our spouses, with our children. So many times you need to ask yourself these questions. Then number five is just low self-esteem. Sometimes when you just feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. I just don't batch up. And I don't want them to see all my flaws. I don't want them to see all the things that I'm not so good at. So you feel that the less you self-express, the more you can cover up your flaws, the more people will not get to see the bad and the ugly version of you. So you only want to show that one part of you, and you say, well, you know what? I just want them to see only this part of me. I don't want them to see my deep dark side. I don't want them to see my flaws. I don't want them to see my limitations. And those are the things that makes you not to fully self-express, because you always want to look good in the eyes of others. And guess what? That's just stupidity, because none of us are perfect, right? We are all what I call flawsome human beings, work in progresses. We are awesome, but flawed at the same time. And that's the reason why we constantly work on ourselves. That's the reason why that there is so much money in the business of self-improvement and personal mastery, that we have limitations, that we have weaknesses, that we have things that ought to be corrected, and we need to be able to consciously work on the things that are not good and ought to be better. And it just doesn't sound right. People are going to think I'm not that smart. Oh, people are going to know that I didn't go to university. People are going to know that I don't have a PhD like the rest of them. People are going to know that I don't. So all this kind of things makes people start to feel a bit themselves and not speak out and not share themselves with us and not put the words into writing and not fully live their lives. Why? Because of these things that I've mentioned, this six things that are holding us back: shyness, fear of being judged, limiting beliefs and conditioning, fear of disapproval and rejection, low self esteem, and fear of ridicule. So, I want to read some of the comments. Yes, we need to deal with our issues and not hide behind shyness. Shyness shouldn't be a title. Absolutely. We need to speak up, uncondition ourselves, and we need to improve ourselves. That's so right, Dr. Ntabi. Very, very correct. If we don't do this, we are going to find ourselves still being in the same loss of self-expression. Okay, so I want to share with us some of those same words that actually talks about self-expression, so that you'll be able to see how easy it is for you to self-express and find ways and avenues for you to do that. Okay, self-knowledge, self-awareness, spontaneity, sociability, and creative imagination. I'll repeat that again for those that are on Instagram and cannot have the same access to those that are on YouTube and Facebook with the words already typed on the screen. So words that mean the same as self-expression are creativity, number one; number two, self-awareness; number three, spontaneity; number four, social ability; number five, self-knowledge; and creative imagination. So when you look at these definitions that are similar to self-expression, so you start to ask yourself, how self-aware am I? How much do I really truly know myself? How much do I give myself room to be spontaneous and do some things that are not pre-planned? Because some of us are so rigid and inflexible, and everything has to be penalty, and you don't allow yourself to do some things that are genius in life. You don't allow yourself to do the things that would just be so out of character sometimes, just as part of being able to freely express and break out of the mode of being confined to a specific mode of this is who I am and I'm incapable of changing. That is so untrue. Okay. Social being able to listen, interact, communicate with other people around you in you allow them into your space, yourself in the space, that is also with boundaries, but with and also with respect and kindness. Can you do all these things? And then creative imagination, allowing yourself to free flow in your thoughts, not holding yourself back from the kind of things you want to do, from the kind of things that comes into your mind, and the ways you create things. So important. So if you start to look at these definitions and these words, it starts to allow you to get a clearer picture of what self-expression is all about. And then the things that you are right that is to self-express and so that you can start to self is going to be silent a lot, then you are not self-expressive. If you're someone who is always hesitant, very hesitant to create, very hesitant to talk, very hesitant to share, very hesitant to do things. You are lacking in self-expression. And the first, stammering. Stammering can be a physical impediment condition, and it can also be a state of lack of self-expression. When you stammer over your words, it means no clarity. There is no there's confidence. That you want, because you are lacking confidence. You want to say in what you want to do and what you want to create, you want to verbalize it, you stammer, you stutter over your words because of the fact that your fear is overshadowed, is overtaken and over you. So it would hold you back from self-expressing when you stutter over your words, when you lack clarity, when you the boldness and the confidence to be able to fool who you are and speak and say and create the way you really want to. That is where you are not embracing the fullness of who you are and lacking in self-expression. Okay. Self-expression, as I always to know, is how we embrace who we are and open up ourselves to be the best we can be to ourselves and to the other people around us. So every single time when you self diagnose yourself, when you look at yourself and tell yourself that, hey, this is me, okay? These are areas I need to work on. This is that I'm really great at, and I need to keep on doing them as well. And then other people to be able to see me and it helps our relationship with ourselves and with others. Because I always say that until you have a deep, loving relationship with yourself, you cannot have the same with other people. If you don't know yourself, if you're not critically aware of who you are and have radical acceptance for who you are, you're going to struggle very, very successful. You're going to have issues, and you're not fact that you do not really understand yourself, and then you don't even understand the constantly rubs people the other way and makes them to leave you or to break any kind of working relationship with you just because of the fact that you lack self-expression, and also you are constantly hiding yourself but pretending to be something. Then eventually those people see you are, they are patient enough to try, but tired because at the end of the comes draining to them as well. So you need to be able to understand that your lack of self-expression can cost you a lot of very important relationships in life just because of the fact that you are living from a 4 point of life, authenticity and lacking integrity, and it's costing you big time. So many times you say, oh, I'm going to, but then your attitude and the way you show up and the way you do things is not incongruent with the words you're saying. When you say that, oh, I am very dedicated, I can do, I'm very caring, and blah, blah, blah. But then your actions are the complete opposite. Your actions doesn't show that you are considerate. Your action doesn't show that you're committed. Your action doesn't show that you are thinking of other people and want them to understand. And yes, how busy I get it, and I need you to also understand that I'm thinking about you, and I feel supported by you even though my life is busy. So thanks events by Uno and Hemphone for your kind words of encouragement on Instagram. So it's so important, guys, that you would understand that your loss of self-expression is costing you big time, okay? Big time. So now let me show you some ways in which you can enhance the power of self-expression, okay? Because we're already 33 minutes past the hour and I don't want to go past 45 minutes. Okay, so how do we begin to enhance the power of self-expression? Number one, commit to being more honest and authentic in the moment, okay? Speak from a place of truth, but always remember to speak with love and kindness. So, whatever you're feeling, whatever it is that you want to express, say it. Say it, but don't say it in a way that hurts the other person intentionally. Say it from a place of deep rooted love and kindness, okay? There's this song that comes to my mind every time I think about self-expression, because it says, say what you need to say what you need to say, Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. I'm one person that if I don't say what I need to say and I hold it in for a long period of time, I literally get sick. I get sick physically. I start to have headaches. I start to have like tummy bugs. And then before I know it, I'm physically ill. Because when I suppress my emotions, when I don't say what I need to say when I need to say it becomes like a poison to my system. So it's important to be able to speak your truth, but speak it from a place of love and kindness. That's why I gave you the three caveats of self expression. What do I really want to say is number one. Number two is, do I really want to say what I need to say? Is it very important? And must I say it right now? Because if you're in a heightened state of emotion, if you're angry and stuff, you might say it the wrong way and it will have a wrong effect on the person that you're saying it to. And the third thing that you need to think about is that what I'm going to say, how is it going to affect the other person? And then ask yourself, that will allow you to actually think about the tone of voice you're saying. So it's not about you not saying what you want to say, it's about the how you say it. So I always say what you need to say, but be conscious of how you say it so that it has the right resonation with the person you want to say. And guess what? Even when you say it the right way, some people are still going to be aggressive, they're going to be defensive and whatever, but at least you are being authentic to yourself. You also are all you feel good about yourself saying that I said what I needed to say, I said it how it needed to be said, and I am truly feeling good and honoring myself by saying it rather than dishonoring yourself, keeping quiet, being inauthentic with other people and lacking integrity. You say what you need to say, but then you're also conscious of how you say it so that it lands in a way that you yourself will want to receive it if the tables were turned. Okay. So I hope that helps somebody. Speak your truth, but speak it with love and kindness. Okay. So that's number two. Thank you guys. Oluwatoyin, thanks for joining. Hi guys. So yes, guys, keep communicating with me. You know I love interactions. Yeah. So thank you guys on Instagram. It's on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You guys can do the same as well. You know that I'll read your comments and I'll share with the rest of the people. Number two way in which you can enhance the power of self-expression is by wildly defining yourself. Okay. So many of us, we like to contain ourselves in the little boxes that people have put us in. So, some people say, oh, you are this, you are that. And then you want to live in that box for the entirety of your life. No, free yourself. Remove the shackles of the limitations of the boxes and tell yourself that I am so much more than that. I am so much more than that. And then you start to give yourself all the lovely definitions that you want to give yourself. Let yourself be open to new experiences, to your talents. Guess what? There's probably some talents that you didn't even know you had, right? But you wouldn't know them until you try it, right? Until you start to put yourself in situations to try new things. So there are also new interests that you have to cultivate. You also have to let your passion have full expression. Also be open for new opportunities in life, things that you might have been like, oh, I've never done it before. But you have to have this, oh, I'll give it a try attitude, because when you try it, you might find yourself falling in love with it and say, wow, that was so much fun. Gosh, I loved it. And then you do it again. That was how I got myself fully integrated in sports. I was being limited because I'm a girl. And then they'll tell me, my mom would say, oh, some particular sports are only for boys and stuff. And I'll be like, nope, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to try each and every one of them at least once. And if I love it, I'll keep doing it. And if I hate it, I will drop it. So I played football, I played volleyball, I played netball, I played handball, I played tennis, I played badminton, name it. I played so many different sports. And then I found myself keeping to some. So when I was in university, I competed and won medals in basketball, volleyball, tennis, and football because I found myself enjoying those ones. The ones I didn't particularly love, I dropped them because I was like, hey, you know what? I started out as an athlete, a 100-meter and 200-meter sprinter, and I loved it. And I did that for so many years, for at least 7 years. But when I got to the UK, the weather was cold and I didn't like running and training in winter. So you know what? I chose to do the sports that were easier on my body. And later I became lazy as well. So athletics was out of the door. So you know what? You just have to try stuff. You never know. So some of you that say, "Oh, I don't want to do this. I want to do that." You don't know what you're doing. You're missing out on the biggest part of life, on so many fun elements that you just never know. Oh, rock climbing, try it once. You don't need to go somewhere really high. Try at least a medium height rock and see how it goes. Bungee jumping, going on roller coasters, eating food that is not from your culture. Try it. Stop being so inflexible and boring. Try it, okay? Guys, you just don't know what's going to allow you to just experience life in a new way and increase your level of creativity and also become your new passion. All right. So, number three, engage in creative activities and pursuits. That's what I was talking about. Use techniques that allows your creativity to expand your potentials and enhance your life. So I'm one person that I started using vision boards a couple of years ago because I realized that it really gave voice to the thoughts in my head because I'm an image person. I see things very clearly in my head and I like to be able to bring them into life. So having a vision board really helped me. And then I was introduced to what they call visual meditation by my coach and mentor, Dr. Sami Koku, about a couple of years ago, and it totally changed my life. If I thought vision board was powerful, visual meditation, guided meditation was for me. To be able to actually see myself immersed and living my dreams and actually having this crazy experience of being in my imagination and feeling everything I'm feeling and seeing everything I'm seeing actually spurred me on to keep on pushing myself to do some certain things that I would have felt I couldn't do. So I started living in the zone of impossibilities. I started living in the zone of, you know what, I can do difficult things. I can soar higher. I can achieve my biggest dreams just because I started doing visual and guided meditations that allowed me myself doing those exact things to do, even though it wasn't happening yet in reality. But by doing that, it changed my life, it changed my mindset, and allowed me to start to live a much more bolder life. And many of those things have come to pass. So that's why I say that, guys, you never know what you can achieve in life until you start to give power to them. So having creative ways and very powerful tools and techniques that can help you to live your dreams are things that you can use. So as I mentioned too already, vision boards, guided meditations, whatever floats your boat, try it, okay? Some of us that we're Christians, so we pray, but I always say that, prayer without guidance as well. So there needs to be something you anchor it on as well. And God gives us visions and stuff. And then if He's giving you a dream, pray about it and get to work on it. Don't just sit down and pray and then after praying do nothing about it. No, get to work on it with faith, okay? So that will allow it to come to pass. What's the fourth thing that you guys can do to be able to empower yourself in um self-expression? Thank you. Number four, know who you are. The more you know who you are, the more you're able to invest in your personal mastery and use the knowledge that you have to your full advantage. Okay? If you didn't know that you are gifted at writing, would you be compelled to write books? No. If you didn't know that you have the power to be able to speak in such a way that you can enable people to gain wisdom, to gain insights that can be useful for them, would you be able to host a talk show? Or would you be able to become a public speaker or a trainer or teacher? No. So the more you know yourself, the more you are congruent with your skill sets and your gifts and your ability and your passion, the more you'll be able to live a life whereby you are using this gift and talent and passion in such a way that you're fully expressing them. You are being blessed by them, and other people are also being blessed by it. So it's not just for yourself, it's for other people as well. And that comes by knowing yourself. That comes from you investing in yourself. That comes from you taking time to study yourself and master yourself and develop yourself, because you cannot believe that you are already a fixed human being. No, There are many models about you. There are many facets about you that can still change. Yes, there are certain things that cannot be re-engineered, but there are so many parts of you that you can re-engineer. You can re-engineer your mindset. You can re-engineer your conditioning. You can re-engineer your beliefs. You can re-engineer your physicality. You can re-engineer so many things about you, the way you actually delve into your emotions and how you allow it to affect you. You can re-engineer so many aspects of yourself if you give yourself room to do so. So many of us are just stuck because we want to stay stuck, because we refuse to do the hard work of being brutally honest with ourselves and seeing the things that are wrong with us and seeing where we're still hurting and see where we need to heal and seeing where we need to grow and seeing where we need mentoring and seeing where we need help and seeing where we need coaching. When we don't do these things, we'll continue to hold ourselves back and never live our best life. Thank you, Darkinsoft, for saying so true. Hanfons, thank you guys for all the emojis. I love it, guys. You guys are so awesome. Use introspection and reflection to ensure that you never become a stranger to yourself. That is the worst of yourself, remaining a stranger to yourself. Okay. You don't want to do that. Number 5, pursue your passion and life calling zealously. Zealously. Once you start to find zones of geniuses that you can express, do it with all your heart, do it with all your soul, and do it with all your might. Forget about the other things that does not allow you to fully express yourself. Do the things that are your passion and your life calling. Make adequate times to do it. So if you're in a state of being whereby you have to do some jobs to be able to earn money, because at the end of the day, your passion and your life calling is not able to feed you, I will say that yes, you can do them both together, but make sure you do not ever dampen or stifle your gift and calling. And then fully and also wisely find your way to doing the things that will allow you to express your skill sets. Okay. If you put your heart and soul into it, if you keep on using your downtime to showcase what you're good at, I can guarantee you an opportunity will open up for you to be able to fully express yourself and earn from it at the same time. God does not make mistakes. If He gave you a gift and a calling, and then you are not able to make money, ask yourself, what are the things you're doing wrong? What are the ways in which you've not started to see opportunities whereby you can use some of your gift and calling to serve and use the rest of it to also empower yourself financially, because God wants you to prosper. He doesn't want you to be broke or poor. So your gifts and calling are also pointers to your place of profitability. It's just that maybe you need help to be able to see how you can monetize some of your gifts, some of your calling, because not all of them are meant to be given away for free. Some need to be have a price tag placed on it because it is premium gifting, premium value that needs people to pay a price for obtaining it. That is the way you're going to be able to actually fully self express and be happy at the same time. Because it's so difficult to be doing what you're passionate about, to be living your life of calling and be brilliant but freaking broke. It's just not the best state of life to be in. It is frustrating and is also so shattering. And I know many people have left their place of calling, place of passion, to find comfortability in doing things that they absolutely do not love, but because it brings money. So when you have to live a life where you're working for money, that is a sad state of life. But when you're living from a place of calling and passion, and then it brings the added benefit of profitability, of riches and prosperity, that is what I call phenomenal living. So I hope you guys will be able to find that comfort break whereby you are able to live a life of passion, live a life of your purpose, and also find your profits in it. Okay. So, number 6, okay, we're almost done. Develop a keen sense of reality with a positive outlook and attitude. Positivity will get you everywhere. Look, I'm not telling you this because of the fact that I do it. I have had doors opened up for me to places I knew absolutely nobody because of the way I was dressed and the beautiful smile on my face. I have this penchant for always having this full smile. And my kids always say, Mom, can't you just smile a little bit? I said, no, it's not in my DNA. So everywhere I go to, I smile like so broad, like, hello. I say hi to everybody. I'm very polite. And people start to attend to me. And people are like, oh, she must have used connections and stuff. Not realizing that I knew absolutely nobody. But my demeanor, just being real about the fact that what, other people also want to be respected. Also, people just want to feel like they matter. So I go to places, I smile at them, I make them feel important, I compliment them, I thank them, and then they're like, oh, what do you want? So you see, many times there are many things in life that are not working for us, and it's the truth. There are many things that we don't deserve because some people act in a way that is so rude and untoward towards us, and we deserve better. But we can't control other people's attitude. We can't control the economy meltdown. We can't control the government. But we can control ourselves. We can control the way we act. We can control our own attitudes. We can let other people's behave. We can also not allow other people's behavior to affect the core of who we are. I will always choose to be a positive person, positive minded, positive attitude person, no matter what. There are so many things I've gone through in life that many other people will not be able to go through it and survive it. But by the grace of God, I've survived it. I went through 10 years of domestic violence. Been almost semi homeless with my children before. And this is me that came from a very rich home, went to the best of schools and stuff. So you can imagine, I was suicidal at one point in time, very depressed, but I got over it and I told myself never ever again. And I realized that one of the reasons was because of I lost power of self-expression. And that's why I'm talking about it today. And that's why I'm telling people, look, your life that you have right now can actually become better if only you start to see where you are losing power and regain your power back. Okay. So have a keen sense of reality, but choose to be positive always. Okay. Number 7, write every day. This is important for those of you that don't like writing. And I know technology has made writing become a difficult thing for many people. And that's why I say that look, your phone has notes on it, right? That note section, use your keypad and type something in if you don't want to use paper. I'm very old school. There's something about the connection between holding a pen and writing something on paper that just allows my brain to create and flow with words. It just allows me to be able to self express. And that's how I knew that beyond speaking, I'm a gifted writer. If I didn't write all the time, I wouldn't have known that. I would have just been thinking, "Oh, I'm just a speaker. I'm just the voice. My voice is my main gift." No, I can write, and I've written books. Right, I've got 3 books out there. 2 books have been published. The other one's a free book that I wrote. So you never know how you can give power to the right words just by writing. By writing, something else will come into your imagination, will drop in your spirit, and will give you something that you can use to empower others and also to become a profitable venture in the future. And it just allows you to self express. Because I said, bottling up your emotions, bottling up your thoughts can become cancerous or dangerous to you. But when you've penned it down, when you've been able to write it down, you might say, oh, you know what? This can become a podcast. Oh, this I can do a recording. I can have a show with it and invite a guest to come and talk about this thing. It just starts to give you ideas. And beyond that, it just allows you to empty yourself because we don't want to be full of all these thoughts and all this energy that we're keeping inside. We need to be able to find a way to release them. So write every day. And then finally, number 8, grab every opportunity you can to speak in public. Many of you shy away from public speaking. Many of you don't like to talk to others when you are in a space where you're not familiar with people. And it is a huge sign of lack of self expression. When you don't feel comfortable enough to be able to speak in public and to be able to speak to strangers, whether it's at the tube station, bus station, supermarket, school, pickup zone, there is something holding you back. Ask yourself, why am I afraid to speak up? Start by just smiling and just say, hey, how are you? Or hello, and stuff like that. Or if you see something to compliment about them, say, oh, I love your shoes. Just start talking. Self express, be yourself. Don't do things that are so freaking crazy and out of character for you that people will be like, are you all right? You can do that once in a blue moon because I'm talking about spontaneity, okay? So, but allowing yourself to use the opportunity of giving power to your voice is going to be something that is so key and important in self-expression, because one of the biggest ways in which we actually self-express is through our voice. Okay, so I want to share with you key ways in which you can self express. And then I will also tell you what happens when you do not self express, and then we can end the show. Okay. So, the best ways in which you can self express are: number one, expressive writing that I talked about. Number two, fashion. What we wear, the jewelry, our hairstyles, our shoes, accessories, all of them are all forms of self expression. So that's why I said that the nonverbal communication says a lot about who you are. And that's why I have a friend, really funny. She dresses in such a flamboyant way, very, very seductive, but she does not speak at all. She is so quiet. She says she's shy, and we talk about being shy. And the first thing I told her when we got to know each other after a while was, I said, do you know what? There is an imbalance between the way you dress and show up and the way you act. And I believe it's because you have a lack of self-expression. There's an inner child in you trying to get out, but you're suppressing it. But then the way you dress is actually embodying that person. I said, so you need to find a way to be able to have a deep fusion with your inner child and who you are, so that you are not going to keep on struggling and having repressed issues. Okay. So it was kind of interesting. That's why I wanted to throw that in. So, number two way in which you can self express is fashion, right? I've mentioned that. Number three, dance. The way we dance also shows who we are. Number four, music. And number five, voice. So, number one, expressive writing. Number two, fashion or style. Number three, dance. Number four, music. And number five, voice. Okay. So, what happens when we are not freely self expressive? Okay. So, because I always like to talk about the positive things, I need to share with you some of the negative things that happens when we don't self-express, okay? Because it's important. So, number one, if you don't self-express often, you're going to have increased anxiety and stress. Fon, thank you so much for typing that on Instagram. Yes, you got it right. Writing, fashion, dance, music, and voice. Thank you so much, sister. So, what happens when you don't freely self-express? Number one, increased anxiety and stress. You will be stressed out every time you keep bottling up your emotions and bottling up the words that you want to say because you couldn't say it. And that leads to number two, frustration and repressed anger. So one day somebody will say, oh, you are erupted. It's because you've been bottling so much stuff. So you know how it erupts? It's because it's full to capacity, right? Many of us are full to capacity of bullshit and repressed anger and repressed emotion and depression and frustration and all manners of things. So we don't say it, and then one day we just bust out, and everybody's like, "Oh, what happened? Oh my gosh, you just erupted!" And that's because you've been repressing it. You've been repressing it, and one day you just couldn't contain it anymore. Loose, and everybody goes like, "Woo! What happened there?" So it's not good for you. So please try and not get to that stage where you become an erupting volcano. Try and find a release valve of self-expressing and speaking the things that you're uncomfortable with as well, and the things that are not aligning with you. You do not get to the point of what I call self-destruction mode. Okay. Number three, depression. So I mentioned about how I sunk into depression when I had a loss of self-expression. Not a good state of being to be at all. Number five, a burst of aggression. So when you suddenly get angry and then you hit your children for something that is minor, ask yourself, maybe it's just because of your loss of self-expression. So you find other people that you can kind of, turn all your anger on or your frustration at. It's a problem. So you need to work at it. And then increased risk of diseases. I told you, I started getting sick. Some people don't know why they're getting heart failure or heart diseases or diabetes or whatever. For me, it was weight gain. Whenever I suffer from loss of self-expression for a long period of time, I put on weights. Y'all, it ain't funny. And then once I'm able to release everything that is within me, I drop all the weight. And people will ask me, what are you doing? Are you on a diet? And I'm like, I don't diet. I don't even exercise that much. shame on me. But I'm able to maintain my weight and be slim enough by just self-expressing, by not allowing things that that bottle up in me and become issues that just become crazy. So I've realized that if I don't self-express, if I don't say what I need to say when I need to say it, and I repress it within me, I put on weight and then my skin becomes crappy. So those are two signs for me. So once I start to see that, oh, I'm putting on weight or I'm becoming, my skin is getting crappy, I know that I got issues within that I need to sort out. So I start getting them out. Say what you need to say quickly so that way I can get back to my normal state of health and being. So those are some of the issues that comes out of us not being able to self-express. Finally, how we reveal our truest identity to others sets the stepping stones for our lives. Self expression is not an option, it is a needed thing. Okay. So don't think that self expression is an option you need in life. No, it is a necessity. When you self express, you give voice and you also give expression to who God has created you to be and allow people to be able to see you, feel you, understand you, and be able to cohabit with you in such a way that is authentic and full of integrity. I hope you guys have been blessed so far by what I've been able to share about the power of self expression. I've shared it from my own viewpoint, and also some of the key points that I shared for you were from the books of psychology, from experts that have written about it, and also I brought some insight from my Christian faith for you guys to be able to know that self expression is allowing people to see the true us. And you don't need to be everything for everyone. So being yourself actually gives you value because at the end of the day, if you see gold, you know it's gold. That's why sometimes they say that all that dazzle is not gold. There are many things that can seem right. There are many ways that can seem right, but you need to ask yourself, is it right for you? And then if you find yourself not being able to speak your truth, if you find yourself uncomfortable to be around others and to own your own identity and be comfortable, you might just be suffering from a loss of self expression. I would love to help you to be able to find your inner dazzle and own the power of the self expression. My name is Madame Merola. I'm known as the band creator, and I help women most especially, but I can also help men as well to be able to find out and discover the true essence of who they are and how to show up unapologetically as the true self and function as personal brands in such a way that is powerful, prominent, and profitable at the same time. If you need my services, reach out to me because there's some things that we cannot do alone. There's some things we cannot see alone. We need someone to be able to guide us. We need someone to be able to direct us. We need someone to be able to help us to ensure that we get the most out of who we are. That is what I've been uniquely gifted to do. Hence why I'm called the band creator, because I ignite the beautiful and bold, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece in you. I am a total transformation coach, and I will work from the inside out, whereby people will see the fabulosity and the greatness within you that will start to reflect on the outside as well. If you're interested in any of my services, if you would love to have me on your show or to get to speak at your conferences or whatever, reach out to me on any of my social media pages on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also visit my website, www.madamemerola.com. It's been so much fun being here with you guys again this Monday. It's the last day of January. I hope you guys know that what you are expecting in life, what you desire in life, desires you back. Please don't hold back from living your best life. You have what it takes. Everything within you has been predetermined and predestined by God for your greatness to be seen by all. Don't keep dumbing down your brilliance. Let your light shine so brightly and live a phenomenal life always. Once again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Michael, on Facebook, for joining me there and saying bless you for sharing, Madame Merola. Thank you, Galin Castle. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, DVS Asher. Thank you, Prestigious Priska. Thank you to all those that are just joining as well now. The replay will be available. Thank you, Hemfon. Thank you, Dr. Fabi. I appreciate what each and every one of you. The replay will be available. So once I end this live show now, you can watch it again. You can also share with others. But above all, start to imbibe some of the things I shared. That's the best gift you can give to me. Not just watching the video, but living some of the things that I shared with you, because I don't want you to suffer from loss of self-expression. I want you to own your power of your true authenticity and also start to live life from a vantage point of view whereby people know who you are and what you stand for. Thank you for me for writing what you just wrote. That what you desire in life desires you back. Absolutely. I say it and I believe it. So I always speak my reality into existence. And that's why I'm a big fan of guided meditation, because I always want to see my future, my best life in my mind, and then start to bring it to become a reality by walking in it. Take care of yourself. Be good to you. End this January on a right note and usher yourself into February in a powerful way where you are ready to start to gain the best vantage point of all that God has in store for you. So next week, I look forward to serving you once again. Take care of yourself, be good to you, and live a phenomenal life always. Thank you, guys, and bye-bye. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. I appreciate you. You're welcome, sis. Thank you, everybody. God bless you, and bye-bye.